Hey family, welcome back to Africans in Diaspora TV. Now, we all know the American dream, right? That whole land of opportunity thing. But what they don't tell you is that for some, that dream feels more like a bad dream. Like wake up sweating, can't tell your mama, because she'll say it's the ancestors' kind of bad dream. Imagine this. You've scraped and saved, sold your prized goat, maybe even convinced your uncle to part with his lucky Agbada, all for that golden ticket to America. You've fasted, prayed, and even considered writing a strongly worded letter to President Biden himself. You finally make it to the embassy, heart pounding like you're about to face a pride of hungry lions. But then, bam, rejected. And for what? Because your toddler dared to eat a free school lunch back in Nairobi? Yeah, you heard that right. Trump's gold card policy was basically America saying, you can't sit with us to anyone who wasn't already rolling in dough. Today, we're diving deep into this hot mess, sharing stories that'll make your jaw drop and giving you the tools to fight back. Let's go. So this gold card policy, right? It wasn't about some exclusive club with champagne fountains and diamond-encrusted credit cards, though it might as well have been. It was all about the public charge rule. Basically, America decided to treat immigrants like they were applying for a luxury credit card. You needed a fat bank account, one of those fancy high-skilled jobs that requires a PowerPoint presentation to explain, and a clean bill of health, and don't even get me started on what they considered dependency. Letting your kid eat a free school lunch, boom, dependency, using malaria medication. Oh, you're reliant on the system, they'd say. Yes, surviving a mosquito bite could make you too poor for Uncle Sam. It's like they looked at the resilience of Africans and thought, nah, that's just too much hustle for us. Now, I'm no immigration lawyer, but this whole thing smelled fishier than a week-old tilapia in the Sahara. It's like America was playing a game of how high can we make the bar. You see, the gold card wasn't just about wealth. It was about who that wealth belonged to. Europeans with the same income as their African counterparts were practically waltzing through immigration like they owned the place. But Africans rejected for having too many kids or unskilled jobs. Meanwhile, Silicon Valley's out here hiring entire families on H-1B visas like it's a family reunion. The hypocrisy was thicker than Auntie's egusi soup. Let's keep it 100, fam. This gold card policy, it wasn't just about economics. It was racism in a business suit. It was about who America wanted to let into its exclusive club. And let's just say the guest list was whiter than a Taylor Swift concert in December. They looked at Africans with our vibrant cultures, our strong family values, and our incredible resilience, and saw a burden. Please, we're talking about the continent that birthed humanity, the people who built civilizations, while others were still figuring out fire. This is about more than just visas, people. This is about respect. The West happily takes our cobalt for their iPhones, our cocoa for their chocolate, our diamonds for their bling, but then turns around and calls us leeches for wanting a piece of the pie. Last time I checked, we built Timbuktu while they were still figuring out how to turn potatoes into something other than poison. So, the next time someone tries to tell you that you're a burden, just point them to their iPhone and say, check your privilege and your battery life. So, we've talked about this gold card policy, right? Sounds nice, doesn't it? Like something you'd use to buy a solid gold yacht. But for many Africans, it was more like a fool's gold card, a cruel joke. Take Kofi, for example. Kofi, a stand-up guy, hard-working, dreams bigger than a lion's appetite. Kofi saved for 7 years, people, to apply for a visa. He did everything by the book, dotted his I's with fufu, crossed his T's with shea butter. He was ready. But the US Embassy? They said, "Nah, bruh," denied. Their reason? His family, those beautiful children he loves more than life itself. They were a risk to the American people, a burden. Can you imagine? This is where I need you to laugh, people. Because if you don't laugh, you'll cry. These guys were judging Kofi on burden, while they're out here bailing out banks that gamble with people's pensions. Now Kofi could have just accepted this. He could have said, "Okay, America, you keep your golden arches and your overpriced healthcare." But Kofi ain't wired that way. Kofi is a fighter. He's got the spirit of 1,000 ancestors who survived worse than bureaucratic nonsense. He found himself a lawyer. Not just any lawyer, but one of those legal gladiators. The type who could argue that jollof rice is a national security threat. And you know what? They appealed that rejection. They went back and said, "Hold up, America, you got this all wrong." This wasn't just about Kofi anymore. It was about every hard-working African told they weren't good enough for the land of opportunity. It was about challenging a system rigged against them. And guess what? They won. Kofi got his visa. Alright fam, let's get real for a minute. Biden might have tossed this gold card policy in the trash where it belongs, but we all know the stink of discrimination lingers like cheap cologne. So, you want to navigate this system rigged like a carnival game? I got you. Think of these hacks as your cheat codes to the American dream. First up, those forms asking about financial aid. Yeah, those are traps, my friend. You see that little box that says, "Did you receive any assistance?" You didn't. Even if your entire village held a goat roasting fundraiser to put you through school. Scholarships? Never heard of him. Next, we gotta talk about the almighty dollar. Or in this case, 25,000 of them. That's right. Your bank account needs to be looking like a rapper's after party. Now, I know what you're thinking. "Chris, I'm trying to afford the visa, not buy a private island." Don't worry, I got you. Hit up your cousin who's got that booming Agbada business. Just make sure you pay him back, alright? Family first, but interest rates are a close second. Now, for our next trick, you're gonna need a lawyer. But not just any lawyer. We're talking about the kind who can argue that malaria nets are actually traditional mosquito-repelling garments. They need to be able to spin a tale so good, it'd make a Nancy proud. This ain't the time for your auntie's divorce lawyer, fam. We need the legal dream team. And finally, remember that farm you grew up on? The one where you woke up before dawn and harvested crops like a boss? Well, congratulations. You're now a sustainable agriculture management professional. See, it's all about branding. You're not just looking for a job, you're bringing your unique skill set to the land of opportunity. Just try not to laugh when they ask about your experience with GMOs. Now, before you think this is all about tricking the system, let me be clear. We're not encouraging anyone to lie. We're simply saying, play the game, fam. This system wasn't built for us, so sometimes you gotta bend the rules a little to level the playing field. Think of it like this. They got their loopholes, we got our hustle. But look, while you're busy stacking your cash and practicing your sustainable agriculture pitch, don't forget the most important ingredient, faith. Now, I'm not just talking about lighting a candle and hoping for the best. I'm talking about that deep ancestral belief in yourself, the kind of faith that fueled generations before you to overcome impossible odds. Because let's be real, getting this visa is just the first step. You're going to face challenges, no doubt. You'll have to work twice as hard to prove yourself. But you come from a long line of warriors, of survivors, of innovators. You carry that legacy in your blood. So I pray to your ancestors, ask for their guidance, their strength. But then get up and hustle like your life depends on it. Because out here in this concrete jungle, faith without works is like jollof rice without spice. It's just not gonna cut it. You gotta bring the heat, fam. Now, before we get too caught up in the nitty-gritty of visa applications and bank statements, Let's take a step back and talk about the bigger picture, shall we? Because this whole gold card debacle isn't just about some arbitrary rules and regulations. It's about something much deeper, something that goes to the very core of who we are, our dignity. You see, for too long the West has treated Africa like its own personal piggy bank. They swoop in, extract all the resources they can get their hands on, the oil, the diamonds, the cobalt for your precious iPhones, and then turn around and call us burdensome for wanting a piece of the pie. It's like going to a restaurant, ordering the most expensive thing on the menu, eating every last bite, and then complaining about the bill. They built their empires on the backs of our ancestors, and now they have the audacity to act like we're the ones who owe them something. Nah, fam, we built Timbuktu while they were still figuring out that potatoes weren't poisonous. We were doing complex mathematics and studying the stars while they were busy burning witches at the stake. So when they say, you're a burden, we say, check your privilege and your iPhone. This narrative, this idea that Africa is somehow indebted to the West, it's a lie. It's a carefully constructed fiction designed to keep us down, to make us feel like we're not good enough, not worthy of the same opportunities. But we're here to tell you, loud and clear, that's a whole bunch of colonial balderdash. We are not beggars at the table of opportunity. We are not charity cases. We are not defined by the poverty they love to showcase on their screens. We are doctors and lawyers, entrepreneurs and artists, innovators and educators. We are the descendants of kings and queens, and we carry that royal spirit within us. So the next time you encounter this you're a burden mentality, whether it's in the form of a visa application or a condescending comment, remember who you are. Remember where you come from. Remember the legacy of resilience and brilliance that flows through your veins. And then go out there and smash those stereotypes to pieces. Show them what happens when you underestimate the heart of a lion, because the truth is, they need us more than we need them. They need our talent, our drive, our creativity. They need our stories, our perspectives, our voices. And we're not asking for permission anymore. We're taking our rightful place on the global stage, gold card or no gold card. Family, let's be real. Our worth isn't determined by some arbitrary gold card system. It's not stamped on a visa or measured by the balance in our bank accounts. Our value comes from within. It's woven into the fabric of our being, passed down through generations of resilience, innovation, and sheer unadulterated brilliance. We come from a continent that birthed civilization, a people who have overcome unimaginable odds time and time again. We are the embodiment of strength, of beauty, of unparalleled potential. So let's drop a fire in the comments if you face this struggle, if you've been made to feel like you're not enough. Let's trend your African excellence and remind the world that we are not defined by their limited perceptions. If you find this video inspiring, don't forget to subscribe and smash that bell, because next week we're diving deep into how to get a work visa without losing your soul. Until then, remember, they build walls, but we birth nations. Peace.